Alright, before I begin the video, I'm in a Quest Hotel Epping and just did a job as there's a client who temporarily will stay here for a while. Yeah. And it's like a studio apartment. Pretty nice. The range good. Functionable. Very nice layout. Never thought it would be like this. Ah, cool. And here's outside, but before we do that, the bedroom. Nice. Woohoo! Fancy as hell. That won't be how much city view. I live just on that side. Yeah. Epping Hospital's there. Epping Plaza. Perfect. Alright, let's start making this video. So yesterday I had an emergency call and my mate wanted me to rock up as soon as possible. And I'm surprised that while I'm talking about the topic, I may even need, this apartment just to explain what's it like. They utilize a very good space in here for one bedroom. And let's get in and let's talk about it. Alright, so basically my mate who bought a house and he wants to do renovation, and I told him what needs to be done, but he never followed up with me what he needs to do. So it's pretty poor contrast or coloring. So let's discuss about investing or flipping houses or what you want to do. So before I do that, I'll change the different scene of the hotel. So yeah, investing or flipping property. A bit of background about myself. When I was 13, my parents made me skip school and work for them to hustle and bustle for renovation or a bit of handyman job. And eventually, when I was 13 to all the way to 23, I've always been involved with property as my parents running a family business, and as well with understanding, going to the auction every single weekend. And when I do work for my father, we do many legal stuff in the house, like building extra room or adding a bathroom or X, Y, and Z in apartments or old housing, and a way for the customers' needs to flip the houses. So I've never utilized that sort of valuable skill, and I never realized how much pressure that my mate had to go through yesterday. So first things first, you gotta know what your contrast. If you don't know your contrast, forget about it. No matter how much you're gonna spend, you're not gonna get shit, to be honest with you guys. So, this is a basic concept, like fake stone on top bench. This is a simple style, but for him, he was like he bought a house like 780,000, and he was stressing out because of he used his family mates as fixing the house, repairing the house, what I wanted him to do, but he didn't keep me updated, and he got stressed out a lot. Spending $20,000 or $30,000 on a renovation. That it's not satisfaction because the workmanship of the tradesman, it's poorly done, especially on the paint. But I told him, look, it's an old house, sometimes you can't have everything perfect, but you still make money, at the end of the day. But one thing that really struck me the most and wanted me to make this video is the fact that a house is very, very stressful investing. Now the problem with investing in a house, it's very stressful because what you've learned in your life, you haven't learned the reality. You can learn from your work, your theories, how to build a house or X, Y, and Z, or you watch the home renovations shows and you think it's easy. But if you watch the shows like The Block, the amount of stress that you have to go through is on top of the roof. And that's what my mate did. His stress level just went boom, so high, too much, that he mentally broken down over 30,000. And I told him 30,000 in home renovation is nothing nowadays. So during my time when I was working with my father, I get to see arguments with families, I get to see divorces in the family, I get to see fighting over money, a lot of money, and as well a lot of changes, especially from their spouse. Today they'll have the sink here. I know you can't see it from here, but today they'll have a shower, shower here, or tomorrow they'll move it from here, but you can't because we have the plumbing work down here. I know you can't see it from here, but you can't just move around, and it's all come down to money, and it destroys the amount of pressure. And every day, back of your mind, you think about the money that you're blowing every day or every week or every month on the house. But you got to see the big picture, especially with old houses, is the fact that, you look at here, the tiles, right? You can't just have this sort of tiles being built on any wall. You make sure your wall has to be plumbed, right? Then you have a plumb, then you have this vanity, I don't know, no stand, the hooked on the wall to look nice and neat. A lot of people don't understand when they spend the extra money or buying the vanity or the toilet may not suitable for either the plumbing system or perhaps the toileting or the bathroom. Especially with the old houses, nothing is plumbed. The wall is not plumbed, the floor is not plumbed. But if you want to have a frameless shower screen, you're going to see a huge gap. And unfortunately, not many people know the preparation of the foundation, the walls, the studs, the floor, the ceiling, in order to contrast. Because when you look at many of the block shows or the home renovation show, they don't show you that, but you get to see the meltdown by competition, by team 1 and team 2. But in real life, what I saw my mate, the amount of stress that he has to go through. And I told him it's just 30,000, right? But he's a high income earner figure, so it wouldn't be surprising, but it broke him. And what I'm trying to say is that I'm not rich, all right? But what I'm trying to say is that you gotta play the investing game, right? You gotta do what you gotta do, right? And sometimes you gotta know when to stop and when to go. You gotta know the boundary, because everyone has a different point of view how they wanted this toilet to be, all right? For example, all right? So I can see, right? So I can see here, you look at the tiles, they have all sorts of, you have a big tiles and small tiles. So I don't know if you guys can see it. You have a big and a small tiles, right? Then here, right? Now, many people won't see it from this distance, right? But there is a good flow, right? There is a slope that goes through. Obviously, if I'm going to have a shower right now, the water's going to go everywhere. But that floorway should be a lot bigger. That's a very small, and I wouldn't like that. I would like something a bit bigger, because this is made for disability, so they want something a bit bigger than, with this floor. If this was my way of doing it, right, what I'll do is I'll somehow make an angle all the way to that corner, or somehow you have a long grate on the side. You make sure the water travel as much as you can, because you don't want the elderly or the disabled person start to walk on with a lot of water puddles, right? There's a lot of theories. Then they make another one here, right? If I put a paper, I don't know, if there's a long object, when I walk through, I don't feel like there's an angle, a slope. This one, I can feel there's a slope. So the floor preparation, many people don't know. They screed it properly to get to that level of the concrete slab, or either one or the other, right? Then they got 2 manholes, all right? Look, this is an apartment. I got nothing to say. This is a business model, so I can't say anything. They want to do easy access, whatever they want, all right? But if this was if you want to do a frameless shower screen, obviously this setup wouldn't make properly. Like, the water's going to go everywhere, and plus it doesn't look nice. But that's why I say the way how you design interior or X, Y, and Z, it is very, very technical, and the way how it contrasts. Look, if you look at the contrast here, solid, same color, white. Then you have the contrast of the tiles, then the bench. So you go white, white, white. But they have to make a small tiles, or not the smallest of small, but you guys kind of get it, and make it look break it up to even. Then they have this wood. All right, this is a simple setup. All right, so that's why I said those who wants to jump on board and saying that they want to do investing, it's all about the room, the space, and how would the people like it. You can't just have it your way and make it that way. And I know nobody's perfect, and investing, it has to come from experience and learning your mistakes as well. But my mate was literally got pulled off by it, and immediately he's been telling me the next couple of houses will be a brand new house. And it takes a lot of skills and guts to do flipping a house, and in a way that you wanted to do it, right? People wanted a big open space, a big, lounge room, and a great layout for kitchen, and as well as the bathroom. That's the main areas, right? The people look into, and you can sell it, right? And then you maybe got some features, or maybe you have some, decking or whatever. But the amount of stress that many of them will go through is phenomenal. And my mates was so surprised that I took the calm approach, because I get to see it all the time. And I did not know that I had that skill. But if you ask me to be in his position, I wouldn't panic, because at the end of the day, it's an old house. You can get away. But if this type of, let's just say this house, right? But this sort of house, if there's some marks up or anything, he can't do much, because the house that he bought is older than him. So why he'd expect it? But I understand why he's upset, and he's finding a little details. But what can you do at the end of the day, right? You pay what you get for. So yeah, I got someone coming in.